Dead. We are back in the beautiful East Cape Karoo, and our goal today is once again to sort out some of the problem animals that hang around the livestock. As you'll know if you've been following the series, rock pigeons can be a big problem here, especially around the feeding areas where grains in the feed basically supply them with unlimited food and enable their population to keep growing. It is estimated that the rock pigeon population has grown about 110 times its original number in the past 100 years in South Africa, which is a crazy stat, so I'm always happy to blast them. I've also been asked to focus on the ground squirrels that have been tearing up the farm, and in particular a colony close to the feeding areas which not only competes with livestock for vegetation, but also digs holes that can potentially result in young animals breaking their legs. I managed to find a good spot with a view of all the holes, and I start the setup process. The goal is to start off with the squirrels and then turn to the pigeons as soon as I see them coming into land behind me. When doing pest control jobs like this, I don't like to experiment too much with my setup. I prefer to stick to tried and tested equipment and methods, so although I do have a variety of guns in the truck, the old faithful impact comes out once again. And of course, air is important. I have lubed these slugs with a mixture of petroleum jelly and silicone oil. It's a really good lube that just stops the barrel from fouling up and just creates even friction throughout the barrel so that the slugs don't exit funny. It seems to help a lot with accuracy. It does make them kind of slippery in your fingers though, so you don't want to be squirting them out your fingers and getting them in the dirt on the ground. Okay guys, we're going to set up down here. I've seen a decent amount of ground squirrels in this area, so I think it's just a matter of waiting and hopefully we can get one or two of them soon. The holes I'm seeing are pretty close, like 30-35 meters, which is basically holding dead on with this gun, so I don't think I'm going to need to dull. I think I just might need to pull the trigger pretty quickly, but let's put the mag in and let's get ready to shoot. I get a number of opportunities from really close early on, but don't be deceived by the slow motion. These things were gone before I got a chance to even put my finger on the trigger. It was pretty frustrating, not the ideal way to start the day, but that's hunting for you. There's one right there. Things often come right though, and all of a sudden I get a chance to take a headshot and I make it count. Oh yes, first one down. Goodness me, these things are energetic. It's so frustrating actually, because you line up on them, they set up nicely for you, and as you're about to get parallax perfect, they're gone. They run around, try and get a perfect sight picture on them and get focused and get recording. It's a bit of a nightmare. What you really want to do, I guess, is to go quite far away with like a 22-50 or something, so that they're not as skittish. But I suppose the problem you have there is that the sound of the bullet, passing supersonic through the colony, and they're gone and they won't come back for a while. So the air gun's the way to do it for sure. It's just a matter of setting up in a way that we can be far enough from them that they don't see us. That one was pretty close, probably 30 meters or so, maybe 40, but just put the crosshairs on his head, pull the trigger, and I just heard a solid thud. Now I'm going to freeze the frame here as the slug exits, just to show you how it's mushroomed out. Obviously the BC and flat trajectory is a big strength of the slugs, but the fact that the hollow point opens up so reliably is another massive advantage, and it puts these guys down quickly and painlessly. At this point I decide to change plans just a little bit. I realize I need a little bit more elevation so I can see the holes a bit better through the grass. So I set up my truck overlooking the colony, which gives me the elevation I need, plus a stable shooting platform. And almost immediately I'll start to see action in front of me. First things first though, we need wind measurements, we need ranges, and we need to be set up comfortably. 93 meters. So that's over 100 yards. Let's see what we can do. Get our parallax set. Dead. Next one. It's a bit of wind now from the left. I'm just going to go for a body shot here. Right, there he goes. Dead. Ha! Perfect, guys. 2 in a row. And I bet you there's going to be more that pop up. 92 meters with a pretty strong crosswind. I measured 7 miles an hour on the wind, but those 2 went straight down. So that's an excellent start to the day. I'm not going to go down there and pick them up just yet. I'm going to give it some time. What might happen is that the others might drag the dead ones down the holes. That often happens with ground squirrels. It's their way of protecting their colony. If they've got something that's dying above the ground, predators can smell it. Okay, there's another one down there. 90. I hold for wind here as it dies down, and the slug sails right past this lucky little bugger. The next one, however, is not as lucky. My parallax was a little bit off here, but this one gets 30 grains to the head and is put down nice and cleanly. Okay, there's more there. I'm gonna go 90 meters. It's nice that they're all kind of at the same distance, because it means I don't have to, figure out the wind all over again. I can just hold what I held for the previous shot, and it's pretty much spot on. So let's see if we can get these guys here. They basically getting interested in the dead ones that I shot earlier. I'm actually going to hold nothing for wind now. If I can get one of them to stand up. Dead. Straight through the head. This guy's curious. Both of them are curious. The moment I see some head there, I'm going to smash him. Dead. No ways. That's crazy. Dead. Ha! I think I've shot 6 or 7 in the space of probably a square meter, maybe even less than that. Literally around one little hole. And this is a classic case of curiosity killed the ground squirrel, I suppose, because they're all there because of the first 2 I shot there. There were 2 sitting next to each other. I shot one. The next one was curious, so he went and sniffed around the dead one, smashed that one, and it's just been squirrel after squirrel all the time. So, it seems that they're not too concerned about the fact that I'm sitting here with my gun. I doubt they can even hear the gunshots from down there 100 yards away, just, more than 100 yards away, 91, 92, 93 meters. They don't seem to care, and I think that's probably the best part about having a quiet air gun. I think if I was shooting them with 22 to 50, it wouldn't really give me any advantage over this, other than the fact that I wouldn't have to hold for wind. But I'm hitting them pretty much every single time, so this is absolutely awesome. And I'm loving this setup. Here's another miss. I think I get the range wrong here, because this one drops a little bit low and makes a little mini explosion in the sand in front of him. So I don't have my sandbag here, because the sandbag is actually underneath that camera, keeping the camera up. But I wanted to show you something. This G-Tech back piece here for the impact. You may have seen it in another video. Let me put it in the light where you can see it properly. You'll see that I've actually taken one of these shoulder rest parts and actually put it onto the bag rider here. Reason for that is just to create more surface area at the back. What this means is if I'm shooting off a sandbag, the back piece is not sticking down into the sandbag as easily. I don't have to, force the elevation as much, and it doesn't sink down when the gun recoils. So this way I'm getting more surface area. It helps me for shooting off a sandbag a lot, and I can put my hand underneath as well. And it's an awesome solid position. And obviously what's nice about the G-Tech is that I can just adjust it up and down like this, and it's helps a lot for shooting like this, even when I don't have a sandbag. Okay, now the squirrel out there, gonna hold a bit for the wind. So that was a miss. Can't get everyone, I suppose. Another squirrel pops up at around 110 yards, and with the wind picking up, the first shot drifts a little bit more than I expected. But he stays put, and I'm able to get a second shot spot on. Here's my setup. That camera there has been what's been filming me so far. Rangefinder and Kestrel, FX Impact with scope cam, and when I need to dial, it's all here on my scope. So I get my range, I can dial, let's say 90 meters, just go up to 90 like that, and spot on, and there's all the ground squirrels down there. And I've actually seen one popping up, so let's get back to work, shall we? Okay, another ground squirrel here. This one looks pretty close. 73. So we're gonna go down. Let's see if we can get Mr. Squirrel at 73. Get our parallax adjusted. Dead. Straight down, guys. This is unbelievable. I mean, the wind here is actually pretty strong. You won't hear it there because the lapel mic doesn't pick up the wind that well. But it's blowing pretty strong. Let me actually get a wind reading here. Let's go. Don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty decent. 6-7 miles an hour. It's not easy to shoot at 100 yards plus, so happy with that. Here comes a big gust now as well. 8 miles an hour, 9. The wind is blowing properly now, and I'm almost ready to call it a day. But I see movement out the corner of my eye, and I see the rock pigeons basically dive bombing in on the feeding troughs. Most of them are around the Brahmin, so I won't be shooting in that direction, but there are a couple open troughs, so I set up on the back of my truck and I wait for them to come in. Right guys, well, finally got our pigeon down. You can see down there, there's the feed troughs, just below those two mountains. And that was pretty easy. The wind is blowing, but I just held kind of right edge of the bird, and it's like, I don't even know if the wind affected it, but it smashed him on the spot and he's down. So I'm actually going to leave him there as a decoy. We're going to see if the others come back, and if they do, I'm going to absolutely smash them. So let's just sit here, let's be patient, and as soon as we've got a few pigeons down, what we'll do is we'll go collect those ground squirrels. But it's been an awesome morning so far, so let's see what happens. And this guy's going down. Finished. Ha! Easy peasy. So that's 2 down, and I was absolutely spot on with my prediction about the decoys there. The moment that first pigeon was shot, the others started pouring in. And now that we've got 2 dead birds, let's see what happens. Maybe we can get some more. Right guys, we're gonna go and collect those ground squirrels, but first we're just gonna do a quick correction here of the setup of the decoys, in inverted commas, also known as just dead pigeons. I'm gonna put this one just like it was, but this one we definitely want it the right way around, because although birds sometimes can seem a bit stupid. These pigeons a lot of the time can just detect when something's wrong, and putting the bird the right way around will go a long way in just ensuring that the other birds feel safe enough to land. So, yep, decoys are set up nicely right over there by the trough. Now we're going to go collect those ground squirrels. So as you can see, my truck is down there. We're going to go get the other ground squirrels, which are the opposite direction, and we're going to see how many of them I've been able to get down perfectly. Let's go take a look. Right, so here's the first one. Pretty happy with that. Let's see where I hit him. Looks like a body shot there in the arm. And can't see an exit, but there you go, exit out the shoulder. So would have gone straight through vitals, would have dropped him on the spot. And I see quite a few more down here. So let's take a walk. And you can see just how many holes there are here. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, this whole place is just littered with holes. So another body shot. Don't see the exit. That might be the exit there in the back. This guy over here in the head. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far, and I definitely shot more than that. So let's gather these guys up and let's try to find the rest of them.
This is clearly not a ground squirrel hole, so comment down below and tell me what you think it is. Let's see if you can get it right. With the squirrels collected up, I head back to the truck, but I'm not quite ready to call it quits on the pigeons yet, because they just seem to be getting active now. So despite the crazy wind, get set up, magazine refilled, and ready for action. And with the decoys out, it's only a matter of time. I overestimate the effect of the wind on this one, and the slug just plucks a few feathers off the chest, but shortly afterwards another one lands and I get another chance to drill one.
So third pigeon down, and it's a pretty easy procedure. Birds are at exactly 70 meters at the troughs over there below that mountain. So I basically just dial to 70, make sure my parallax is adjusted correctly, and have the scope cam on, ready to record. And as soon as one of the birds comes in and lands, press record, load up the gun, aim dead on, which is surprising in this wind. It's 70, but aiming dead on, and the birds are going down, no problem. But anyway, I'm super happy with even the 3 birds we've got. It's a really good start, and it seems that the more decoys we have down there, the more likely they are to land. So I'm just going to sit here and wait and see what makes it.
Another one lands, and it's another good shot. You can see how the wind is pushing the grass to the left, and the slug did drift a centimeter or 2 in the shot, but not enough to miss the vitals, and it's over for him in an instant. And that's 4 pigeons down. Not bad considering conditions. I think the wind moving the wings of the decoys actually helped to make them look a little bit more lifelike, if you ask me, and with good equipment my job was pretty straightforward. Here's a perspective from the troughs. You can see the truck is far enough away that they aren't afraid to land, and at the end of the day I'm very happy with my efforts. Again, not the crazy numbers of pigeons we had back in 2014, but it is satisfying to be able to put a small dent in their population and make the farmer smile. And as for the ground squirrels, well, I think I was able to put a significant dent in the population of this particular colony. So again, the farmer will be happy and his job well done.
Right guys, so that's what you call a successful morning of pest control. We started off here with the objective of shooting pigeons. The pigeons weren't exactly cooperating, but then we saw the colony of ground squirrels. Now, these are problematic because they dig a lot of holes and also eat a lot of vegetation. So the sheep and the goats and the cattle all graze here. The fact that they're eating the same food that the cattle are eating and the sheep are eating is a problem, but the biggest problem is the holes that they dig. The animals can fall in, they can break their legs, especially the young animals, the young calves, the young lambs can really get hurt from the holes that these animals dig. So the farmer wants them gone. Above that, actually, they've also been digging straight through the dam wall and creating leaks. So when there's a lot of rain and the dam level rises, the water just flows straight out through the holes and it creates a really big problem. So I was given the task of shooting as many of these as I can today, and it looks like we really got the job done. Really impressed with this whole setup. I knew I would be because I've done this before with this gun, but I mean, in this crazy wind, just to be reminded of what it can do at 100 yards plus on such a small target as the head of a ground squirrel is really, really cool. So really happy with that. This is only a tiny fraction of what I shot, I think. I think most of the animals I shot are either in the long grass or, you know, halfway down a hole where it's impossible to find them, and there are literally hundreds of holes here. So it'll probably take me a whole day to collect all of them, but I'm happy with what we've got here, and these will go to the farm workers to eat. So really, really happy. It's been an awesome day. I'm sure I'll be back here to shoot more tomorrow, and you'll probably see that in a separate episode. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up onto the dam wall where we did the Pigeon Paradise series last time, and I'm going to see if I can get some pigeons over there. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. If you would like to see the extended version of this video and other extra content like old uploads that YouTube took down or early releases of upcoming episodes, head over to airgun101.com. You'll be able to find many other airgun content creators on the site and a safe place where we can build a community and help each other out. It's a real practical way of supporting content creators like myself without paying a cent, as the sponsors of the website help contribute towards the running costs of my channel. Alternatively, you can find me on other social media platforms, on my vlog channel, and on Patreon. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you on the next one.